Hello, everybody. This is CB with your business reality, and today we have a special guest. We have attorney Sherrillyn Lim. Hi, Sherrillyn. How are you today?
Hello, good morning. Good. How are you?
So good, thank you. I just having a sunny day. I'm excited. There's no more rainy days, so definitely it's exciting. But I'm more excited about you and the great work that you're doing, especially during this time. You work for the company Quick Lim. And so you and your partner have been together for such a long time. And so tell us a little bit about what you do and how you're dealing with the situation during this time.
Well, we are estate planning attorneys here in San Diego. So we represent clients in all manner of estate related issues and, not just really assets as well, but it also includes making decisions for loved ones. If let's say they've lost capacity, they're ill, they're quarantined. There are a whole host of legal issues that come up when somebody can't make decisions for themselves, and that's where we come in. We draft the documents that put in place the ability for somebody to step in and make decisions for their loved ones, and then on the back end too, if somebody has passed on, we help them navigate this difficult time. What does that mean now? How do we get assets, into our name? How do we transfer assets? So a lot of those questions, that's kind of what our role is in helping guide everybody during those difficult times.
So I know the courts are not open at the moment. So how are you able to do some like trusts and things like that in order for and keep everything in order for other people, especially now more than ever?
So we don't really have to invoke the courts in order to get the documents in place. These are drafted by us, the attorneys, and we just, execute the documents with our clients. So those documents, by and large, have to be notarized, but that's the only real requirement. Or for the will, that has to be witnessed by two individuals, but that's it. But you are right, the courts are closed, and we just received word that they are going to remain closed through the bulk of May. So I think they are not intending to reopen until after May 22nd. So that's significant, where in the past, if you did not have your legal documents and something catastrophic happens, there's an emergency, a legal emergency, now what do? In the past, you would be able to petition the court to get a court order so that somebody is authorized to make decisions for a loved one. But now that the courts are closed, it becomes even more critical to make sure that your legal documents are executed, are in place. Do nominate somebody that you want making decisions for you so that if anything happens, then automatically the documents are already executed. Your designated person can come in, use the documents, step into your shoes, and begin running your affairs, making decisions for you so that there is no break, there is no legal issue.
Okay. So I know right now nobody's working very traditionally. So the way you're helping people is how like phone calls, emails, like how are you doing making this process work?
So yes, absolutely. For the initial consultations, now we're doing largely telephone conferences or Zoom meetings, FaceTime as well, depending on what technology people have. We try and accommodate and work around that. But there's no workaround for the execution of the documents. Unfortunately, the legal documents have to have wet signatures. There is no DocuSign ability for legal documents at the moment. And so we do have to meet, but we meet all of the legal mandates. So we are able to keep social distancing guidelines. We sign outside so that there is open air. We are able to maintain 6 feet distance. Everything is disinfected and sanitized, prior to and after. Supplies don't get recycled. Everything is brand new. So we have taken the steps to accommodate this time and to make sure that everybody is kept safe while meeting all of the legal mandates, for execution and for notarization and things like that. So it is very tricky, but it's doable. It's allowed us to think outside of the box and still, serve our clients in the safest possible way.
Okay, so tell us why having a trust or a will is very important.
You want to get your documents in place because you have worked so hard through your life to build and to acquire your assets. The last thing you want to do is to default to some state legal guidelines about who gets your assets and in what percentages. Because, if you don't take the time to execute the documents, to lay out your wishes in your legal documents, it could be that your wishes may not kind of dovetail with what the law actually says, and it ends up in a legal situation where you didn't intend. So it's very important to at least get your wishes on paper and in place. But I think by and large, the biggest reason to get your legal documents done ahead of time is so that in an emergency, you have somebody who has already been nominated by you to come in and make legal decisions. Be that medical decisions, if let's say you are incapacitated, you're in the hospital, what are your treatment wishes? What are your end of life wishes? Do you want to be organ and tissue donors? Those are all, I think, important decisions that a lot of us embrace and feel very important, and that we would want to be a part of instead of, defaulting to somebody else or defaulting to the law. It's just always a good idea to take care of things ahead of time because, a stitch in time saves nine. So it's much better to throw, to put in place one legal document than have to invoke the courts and go through this extended, protracted process in order to get things done.
Right, and then more than the court, your own family members, right? When it comes to assets or money, people just turn around and they'll scratch your eyes off for some money or some property. I've seen it I personally have seen it in families. And also too, like, it's so important to have it in place because you don't want to, you're already grieving and you don't want to go through any more headaches that are shouldn't have to go through any more headaches. If the papers are not in place, or it can be very costly, and it's not even, it's your house, but you can't, the court may say maybe it's not. And like you said, they might have the final decision. So I think this is the time, especially now more than ever, to think about having something in place for either your family, your parents, whoever it may be that have a house, have a real assets or something that they care for, that they don't want anybody else to have it but specific person, like you mentioned.
Very true. I think in thinking about your loved ones, you've hit the nail on the head in the sense that, there's an inordinate amount of stress and emotion, and it's such a difficult time trying to navigate all of the legal nuances when somebody has passed or when somebody has lost capacity and now you need to make the decisions that need to be made for them. And to not have the legal documents in place, you really are kind of swimming upstream because now you have to petition the court. The court process is stressful as it is. And then the court calendars are so backed up, so that you may not necessarily get in before the court at a time where you need or want to get in before the court in order to get a court order. So you're waiting months out, and so it's not an ideal situation. And during that time, you're dealing with grief, you're dealing with stress. There's so much that goes into a situation that is not legal, that when you throw in the stress of trying to figure out the legal requirements, it can really add to somebody's stress level and the emotions that they're already feeling. So absolutely, I think that's a very big and valid reason for getting your documents in place before something happens.
Yes, absolutely. Any advice or any tips that you want to give people, out there, that you currently seeing new information coming in that you would just like to share with everyone?
Um, so there's not much change in the laws currently, which is great. We want to make sure that, there are not big changes in the laws where it upends your legal plans. But I would say a good thing to keep in mind is, if you've done the work and taken the time to execute your legal documents, dust them off every maybe 5 to 10 years. Make sure they still reflect your wishes. The people you've nominated still exist and they're still around and they're still part of your inner circle. And then just to, kind of think about, is this how you want to set up your estate plan? Is this fully a reflection of your life and your wishes? And always make sure that you take the time to take care of your affairs before something happens, and not wait till the back end, because
And
that's it.
update them as well, because if somebody did pass away and you have them in your trust, and then I've seen that situation as well too. So update it as as current as you can.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
another whole different mess.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Sherrillyn, for having me. For being here, and I'm very excited to be able to work with you in the future and see some of the work that you're doing. And right now, more than anything, people need a little bit more certainty. Just having that paperwork in place, saying, okay, at least I'm covered from this particular area is huge. With so much uncertainty happening right now, at least we have that particular thing that is certain. And I'm excited for it to come. I know right now it's like a roller coaster road, truly roller coaster time, but it will eventually get better. We will come out stronger, and we will at least come out with more awareness of what we need to do with our lives.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Crystal. You too.